And welcome back for our Eternal Battle Lines card review with the Multifaction cards with yours truly, Pens fan, and as always, Seragyn.
Good afternoon, and fuck you, Peds.
There you go, folks. You were waiting for it. There it is.
Had to circle back around.
Yeah. All right, first card in the Multifactions is Caleb's Cloak. 2-cost relic. When you play a unit, sacrifice the cloak to make that unit recruit. Because it's in like Praxis. Usually the Praxis is usually cheap. Like they want to like tokens. I think tokens when I think this. Like when I think Praxis.
Well, we do have the new recruit thing, and there are some decent recruit cards out there that let you chain recruits.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I have tested this,
and
if you play a recruit unit, when you play this, it does not make it recruit twice.
Okay, so but does the unit get its recruit off?
Yes.
Okay, so worst case you'll get 2 units. You were thinking you might get 3.
No, I was thinking that I would play the unit, it would recruit, and then it would recruit again.
But okay, so what happened? So the relic sacrifices after that first unit, right?
Yes.
So you don't get it for the recruit off the recruit.
Right, and you don't get a second one from the initial unit either.
Gotcha.
That may have changed. I only tried it on the first day, but then it was kind of meh. And I feel like it doesn't really fit into the strategy of recruit then.
I wonder if this will be interesting in a sentinel, because Praxis does have sentinels. Sentinels are usually big chunky dudes. Maybe?
I think it would also be interesting in like a from the Rebel deck. Because it lets you kind of spam the board and
put something in your void.
Into your void.
Yeah.
Or throw a relic in your void.
Yeah, I don't hate this. I don't love this.
Yeah, basically.
Curious to see what people do. What do we got next? 2-cost 3/3 hero Kid. Grev's Heart. She has Warcry. When Kid attacks with 2 or more other units, she gets +3/+3 this turn. She is an exile. I mean that's not bad for a 2-cost unit. I can see Praxis tokens using her a lot, right?
Yeah. For like an aggro or fast.
Yeah.
Also, it's interesting to see that whole like tandem attack thing come back.
That's true. That's
from, like,
true.
What, 2 sets ago, 3 sets ago.
Yeah. I feel she's gonna get used definitely in several formats. I would think.
Yeah, and certainly if you pull this in draft, this is a good one to have.
Yeah.
A 2-cost 3/3
with a Warcry, not the worst you can have.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, with text at all.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next? Strip for parts. The Praxis card, fast spell, kill an enemy attachment with cost 3 or less, and or put an attachment with cost 3 or less from your void. Spoiler: this will be a featured card, and I am very excited to see what can be done with this. We did play. I think was it last.
It's really fun with Invitation.
Yeah, we did play a deck. We saw someone trying to play this last week or 2 weeks. Last week, I think. They kept trying to make their relics. They almost got there. They had a 4-cost plating. They were trying to get there. So this seems like this could be very interesting, especially because it's kill enemy attachment and or so you can do both, right? So I can kill one of their attachments and get one of ours back. And actually, it's not even.
And remember, it is not limited to relics or weapons or anything like that. It's any attachment.
Yeah, and it plays it too. That's another key thing. It doesn't go to your hand, doesn't draw it. You play it. So, and that's like you said, any attachment. So it could be a relic, curse relic, relic weapon, all kinds of things for this. Like
Permafrost.
Yeah. I feel there's gonna be very interesting, which is like I said, why it's gonna be a card that we're gonna do. So what do we got next? 3-cost 3/3 Caravan Overseer. Her ultimate at the start of your turn, units you play this turn get charge. It's an explorer. maybe in limited, like, modes, maybe? I don't know. Did I see this in Throne? I guess maybe in a greedy deck?
Maybe. I could see it being really, really fun in a, like, self-mill Stirring Sands deck.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Because you put it out, if it survives the turn, you play your Sands, get 2 Sentinels. But, Stirring Sands plays them exhausted, so no, never mind.
Yeah. Well, unless you're rolling with some Shadow in there, you can do some shadowy stuff to bring them back unexhausted. You know what I mean?
Or you could put, like, the Sentinel Relic, the 3 costs that gives them overwhelming endurance, I guess.
Yeah, like, I mean, people are going to try to abuse this. I'm curious to see how they do it, because, you know.
Yeah, but I think it's more funsies than it is...
Oh, yeah.
anything else.
Exactly. Who do we got next? 5 cost, 3/1. It's a civilian insect, Nomad 2. Summon, deal 4 damage to enemy unit without flying. Draft fodder, if that? Like,
Yeah, I'm a little confused by the usefulness of Nomad at this point. I've tried making some Nomad heavy decks. There are a couple really good ones. We'll talk about one of the triple factions a little bit later that is quite good, that has endurance. But for the most part, I guess they're great if you're being really, really aggressive, but they tend to fall flat when your opponent starts getting flyers out or you're trying to block an opponent's flyer.
Yeah, because they're usually pretty weak when they're flying. Obviously, because, you know, then it would be kind of ridiculous, right?
Right. And they don't actually provide you with any ability to block.
Yeah, so, I guess this one's meh for me. Maybe draft.
Yeah, agreed.
Alright, we got next the Grubby Glider. He's a 2/2 2-cost flyer. When Grubby Glider hits the enemy player, you may devour 3 to kill an enemy attachment into the squirrel. Man, I mean, we've seen worse so far.
It's, I guess, decent attachment removal for, like, for draft. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this here and there.
Right.
Next up, we got Lash Out, a 3-cost fast spell. You deal 4 damage to an enemy unit.
Yeah,
Draft.
It's like an Expedition Mortar. That's about it.
Yeah, draft and Expedition probably as a removal. Because it's not, you know, not the worst, not the best. It'll see use.
Yeah.
Next up, a 3-cost 3/2 Quillback Thrall. It's Berserk, and it's Devour 2 Quick Draw. Again,
Good in draft.
Yeah, this is definitely I could see played in limited formats because Devour 2, 3/2 Berserk Quick Draws can be a pain. So, you know.
The hard part is when you're making like a Devour deck, I think it can be really difficult because they're not really synergistic with each other.
Yeah, that's true. To get the cards into the thing, yeah.
Yeah. So when you're devouring, it actually makes it harder, right?
Yeah. So, I'm not crazy about the card, but
I could see it being used in like a an aggressive what is the faction combination called? Fired Primal.
Stone. That's that. No, it's not Stone. That's Skycrag. Skycrag.
Yeah. But even then, meh.
Yeah, meh. Up next, got a 4-cost Thunderous Mishap. It's a spell, deal 2 damage to enemy and recruit.
Meh.
Yeah, meh. That's all I got on this one. Meh.
Yeah. Although it could be really interesting pairing it with the next card.
Yeah. Spoiler, here's the next card. Num Nom and Sashenka, which everyone's familiar with both. Now they're together. Now they're working together. So it's a 5 cost, 4/6. It is a hero. Your other units have +2 life. When an enemy unit takes damage, Nom Nom and Sashenka deal 2 additional damage to it. It is a Yeti bear. I feel like Yeti players made a mess in their pants with this card. Like this is kind of crazy, I think.
I've only seen it once played so far.
Really?
But I think it's a top end in Yetis.
Yeah.
It could be really interesting because now your like snowballs and stuff are doing 3 damage instead of 1 to units.
And if when they're chumping your Yetis, now
Right.
most likely, even if your Yeti doesn't die, like if their unit doesn't die, this might finish it. You know what I mean?
And you're creating favorable trades. And one of the big issue with Yetis when it tends to lose is when they put in when the opponent has chunky blockers.
Yeah, and you got shitty trades. Now this kind of evens the field a little bit. So yeah, I definitely feel like that you said this is gonna be a top end in some Yeti decks.
I agree.
So yeah, this will definitely see some play. Up next, we got a 1 cost fast spell, Determination. Give a unit +2/+2 this turn, and you gain 2 life. Bolster, fodder, anyone?
Yeah, it's a decent trick because it is +2/+2.
That's true.
It's fast, so you can bolster on your turn. I haven't actually used it much. I might throw it into my bolster project just to see what it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah,
it's just pretty decent.
Yeah, it'll see some play in limited formats. I feel for sure.
Break era.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that'd be another good one. Yeah. All right, up next we got the Combray card, Forging Quokka. I don't even know how the fuck you say it. Quokka. I don't know. Quokka. Yeah. So it's 2 costs. It's a 3/3. It's bolsters +2/+2 and overwhelm this turn. It's a beast. Again, I can see it in draft and some other stuff. Yeah, because I mean it's a 3/3 for 2, which become a 5/5 with overwhelm with a bolster.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, and there's again. In draft, you're going to be drafting a lot of cards from the set, which enable bolsters. So, I feel like this is going to be this is a solid pick, I think, in draft.
I mean, think about it. You attack in with this, and it's a 3/3 for 2, which is always good. Mm-hmm. But you attack in with this, and then you play Determination fast to give it +4/+4 and overwhelm.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good on turn 3, right? I mean,
yeah. So that would make it a 7/7 overwhelm.
Yeah.
Which eats through most things that early in the game.
Yeah. So yeah, so like I said, I definitely see this in draft. All right, what do we got next? The Sky Savior. It's a 3 cost, 2/1, Nomad 2, summon, silence an enemy unit. It's a Valk. Combray card. I mean, I guess you're gonna see it in what draft, maybe Expedition, since you don't have the normal. What's the 3/3 Justice Valk?
Enforcer. Enforcer.
Yeah, the Valk Enforcer who silences. So it's kind of the oldie brand of him, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree. And again, it's that same issue with Nomad where if you are the aggressor, Nomad's great. If you're not, it's not going to stop someone from going over the top and kicking your teeth in.
Yeah. So, oldie brand. Alright, who's up next? Or what's up next? What do we got here? The Combray, it's a 3 cost. It's a spell. Play a sigil of your choice from your deck. Gain 2 armor. Interesting part, the sigil is not depleted. Also, anyone say bolster again? That's literally what this is, right?
Yeah, the problem with it is, I think this would be a great bolster card and really great for Combray ramp if it was fast.
It might be a little too strong, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I think it would be too strong for an uncommon then, maybe. But
yeah,
as it is, I mean, I don't see a lot of use in it unless you're just really, really heavy ramping.
I'm like I said, draft, expedition,
Hmm.
possibly. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got up next? Tonight, another Combre 6 cost 4/4 aerial guard. He's an Oni and a Valkyrie, and he has a nomad of 4.
Draft.
Yeah, draft fodder, nothing more. I
I
got
don't see
nothing.
him in anything else.
Yeah, I got nothing to say else about this
And
one.
even then, he's so expensive.
Yeah, I got nothing.
This is definitely a top end. It is an 8/8 on your opponent's turn and a 4/4 flying you can push through. So maybe that would be good enough to put him in as a top end in draft. But I just don't see it in any constructed.
No. All right. Argenport card. Against the odds. The fast spell, 2 costs. Give one of your units +2 attack. If it dies this turn, draw it from the void. This is a really interesting battle trick, I think. Especially Kira, man. I'm thinking you throw this on a Kira. Okay, sure, you'll block it, you'll kill it, and I draw it again. Haha.
Kira, Hojan.
Yeah, any of those. Like, it's just so gross for that, right? If they don't have their Silverblade Intrusion, hell with it. I'll throw this on it then, because I'm going to get it back, and I'm probably going to kill your unit in the process. Win-win for
And
me.
maybe some of the renown cards for this.
Yeah, so I feel this is a pretty good one for Argenport. It's a very good trick.
Yeah, I agree. I have had it used against me
Yeah.
in a dredge deck. A
Oof.
dredger. And they attack in with a crappy little what's the one that entomb draw a card,
Hmm.
and you draw it again
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It works, I think, pretty well in.
Yeah. I guess that's a pretty good one, I think. Next up, we got Glory Seeker. It's a 2 cost 2/3. Elf Warrior, Renown of Lifesteal. Meh.
Yeah, especially because it gets eaten by a lot of the other 2 cost 3/3s that are out there.
Yeah.
Which
Mediocre.
this set seems to have a lot of them.
Yeah.
At best.
I don't feel this one at all. So. Next up, it's a 2 cost, a 1/3. It is a hero. It's a Quinn Skullhaven Warden. She's an Argenport Aegis. Her renown. Give one of your units plus attack equal to the cost of that spell or weapon. Meh.
Yeah, and I still don't understand how Quinn got moved from FJP now to Argenport.
I guess that whole Skullhaven, that war thing that, the set's about with Rangers, and I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, but not interesting enough for me to really play it.
Yeah. I've seen it in a couple decks that were doing like an Argenport type renown. That one actually was playing against the odds, but it did beat me, but more because I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Next one is the Reinforced Reaper. It's an Argenport 3 cost 3/1 weapon. It's a versatile weapon, and it's summoned. Give an enemy unit -2 attack. And it's not
It's a permanent -2.
Yeah, it's a permanent. As I say, it's permanent. So that's interesting. So it could possibly let you kill something and not lose the weapon, depending on what you hit with it. It's like I said, I don't feel this is horrible. I definitely could see this in draft, maybe expedition. Like, it's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. Again, if you're playing an armory deck, an Argenport armory, maybe.
Yeah. All right, what do we got up next? I think this is our last Argenport card. It's a 4 cost, a 0/4. It's the Warren Spy Mistress. Endurance unblockable at her bolster, +1 attack. She's a rogue soldier. If you're playing a dedicated bolster, she can get pretty crazy, I would think, pretty quick. Especially that she has endurance and unblockable. That's, interesting to me. I feel, I don't know if I'd see her in constructed, but definitely, if If you're doing bolster stuff
Yeah.
in draft or expedition, maybe.
And again, that if you're in constructing, doing that more aggressive bolster.
Mm. Yeah, because you got all the cards that you. Yeah, so she's again. I'm curious to see what people do with her, because she could be very scary, or she could just be a 0/4 that sits there and does nothing. You know.
Yes.
All right, who do we got next? Or what? It's our first Felon cards. 2 cost. Information Warfare. Give 2 units +1 attack and quick draw this turn. When they hit the enemy player this turn, draw a card. Kind of like that for I should have played like some kind of aggressive Felon something.
Yeah. It would be nice if Felon had a bit more overwhelm.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some on the primal side. It would be really great if you could put it in that.
Yeah.
But not terrible. And I could see it in Menace, too, to put on something
The only thing
that
that's
has...
bad is it's not a
deadly
fast.
overwhelm.
It's not fast, which is kind of a little bit of a negative for me.
It's a major negative for me.
Yeah.
For what it does.
Yeah. So
Because that is the difference between someone choosing to let a unit go through and someone jump block it.
yeah. So
Or taking a trade or whatever. Although I guess with quick draw, you're not going to trade. But
yeah. I mean, your unit will live, but you still don't get the draw. So and maybe that's you don't care. Maybe you are just trying to eliminate a unit. I don't. It's
yeah. But I think in a lot of situations, if you had sufficient chump blockers out there, you would chump rather than let them draw.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I don't see. I mean, maybe limited formats only. I don't see this in Throne. All right, what do we got after that? It's a 3 cost spell. Let Loose. It's a slow spell. One of your units hunts 3. Kind of like this. Not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I think in limited for sure. I've seen it a few times in Throne as well. I mean, you throw this on a Lipa, it's nasty, right? She was already hunted twice. She's a flyer with Aegis. Then you make her hunt 3 more times.
Yes and no. For Felon, I do like it for the hunt synergies.
Yeah.
With one of the issues with like Felon Hunt or any kind of hunt that included Shadow was the hunt cards were not very good until very recently.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And they usually weren't an instantaneous hunt. They always had a condition, like when you attack or something else. So I like it as a kind of a hunt enabler there. I don't like it because it doesn't do anything else. And is 3 cost hunt 3, so it's 1 cost per hunt. Really worth it. I mean, there's the time killer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that gives killer with a hunt 2.
Yeah, but if you're not playing time, then you don't have access to it. So
yeah.
I mean, this is, I guess, your next best option possibly. I don't hate this.
And I could see it being decent in a hunt deck. But I wonder if there's room for this, especially given that there are units like Lipa and other things that just do more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I feel like if you're doing... Because, I mean, let's face it, I think some of the best hunt units are primal, right? With Lipa and with the Fox.
Yeah.
So if you can play a Lipa, she hunts, 2? Play this next turn, you've already hunted 5, so your Fox is already 5 cheaper on turn 4, right? I mean,
agreed.
I mean, it definitely sees some play. I don't think it's the best card, but I can see people playing this in a bunch of different formats.
I agree.
So,
again, I do also wish this was fast.
Yeah, fast, but I think fast would that'd be very nasty. All right.
Well, would it though? Because it's hunt, so it's not like a straight boost.
Yeah, I guess you're kind of hoping and praying at that point that you get the pluses, so you don't trade or something So, all right, what is next? It's 3 cost 3/2 Rancher's Ruin. It's a bat. It has flying. His Devour 6 or its Devour 6 kill an enemy unit. I see
I
this
think in the
limited.
hunt deck, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I see it in limited
I
for
would say
sure.
not.
No?
I see for sure in limited, but I would say if you're actually in a constructed and you're doing the felon hunt strategy here,
Or if you're doing a mill deck,
um,
you throw this in there, right? As a removal.
yeah, as a removal that also gives you a body.
And it's a cheap
The
body,
problem
too.
is yeah, it's a relatively high devour,
Yeah.
and it can actually block some of your other devours from happening. But if you really need to kill a unit, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're all in on mill, most likely it shouldn't be too hard to hit the devour on it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you hit it by turn 3,
or
but
even with hunt.
yeah,
No, but it's a 3. At that point, it becomes a 3-cost removal later down the road.
yeah, not the worst card. I feel it will
Yeah.
be played in several formats here.
Agreed.
All right, what do we got next? Another Felon card. It's a 3-cost, 1/4. It's a Ranger Rogue. It's the Skullhaven duo. The Renown. +4 attack. Limited only, probably.
I've seen this in the same Renown deck that did, again, beat me because I was like, what the fuck? And it was pretty decent in that. I think this is one of those Renowns that might actually be worth kicking off because it's not dependent on the cost of the spell. It just gives it a blanket +4. So if you play a 1-cost spell on this,
Oh, yeah. It's +4. You play a 10-cost. Yeah.
Yeah. So in an aggressive Felon, that's actually quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
1-cost spells you're throwing on this to boost it up.
Yeah, I can
Like
see that.
what +2/+1 and lifesteal and stuff like that, or first strike.
Yeah,
So I can see this one being used in a really aggressive, low to the ground strategy.
yeah. But otherwise, for me, it doesn't excite me. What do we got next? I believe this is the last Felon card coming up. It is. It's a 6-cost, 6/6. It is a hero. It is the Fallen Winter. It has Aegis and Deadly. When Fallen Winter hits the enemy player, you kill a stunned enemy unit. It's Devour 4, stun 1 or 2 enemy units. So, I wonder if stun decks are going to be a thing again. That was kind of annoying when those were a thing.
Maybe.
Because this is
But
kind
how
of
do you
neat.
push him through the hit? I mean, I guess if you're stunning everything, you can push it through the head.
And plus it has Aegis and Deadly, so even if you still have blockers left, if you're going to chump this, you're most likely going to lose the unit, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have Overwhelm.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But at that point, as long as I'm killing your units, you can chump it all you want.
Yeah,
I don't care. You know, and if I'm playing a stun deck,
Aldi,
you know, I probably have other ways to stun you, in theory.
it's our Aldi brand Winter Fox.
Yeah, basically, it's like the
little
oldie
brother.
Winter Fox, right? Or like the evil fox or something. I don't know. Look, yeah, because I guess it looks like it has the eyes like the hermit corrupted it or whatever. So I guess that's what it is.
It's a little cheaper and a little easier to pull off with that Devour 4.
Yeah,
I think that's a very reasonable Devour.
Yeah, I don't hate this.
So, I would use it in the Felon Hunt deck for sure.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Definitely, it'll see some play in multiple formats, in my opinion.
Yes.
All right, so now we're up to the 3 faction cards, the meat of the set, basically.
Yes.
So first up, we got Creation, Listia's Choice. It's a 3-cost. It's a fast spell. 3 options on this bad boy. First option: deal 4 damage to enemy unit, or shuffle a void of your choice into its owner's deck, then draw a card, or give one of your units +1/+1 and Aegis. I don't hate this.
I also don't love it.
Yeah, it's one of those weird ones. Like it feels like all 3 options are not awful, but at the same time it feels awful, right? Like it feels awful having this, but at the same time, if you need one of those, you're like, good thing I put that in there. So I don't know.
I have put it in my market.
Yeah,
and I found it's been really good against the discard decks.
Oh yeah, shuffle your void back. Here, you wanna mess with me, Devourer? Okay, here. There's nothing to devour now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, like the 4 damage is good early, but not much past that.
I feel like this is more
Um,
limited gameplay, right, than Throne.
yeah, the plus one Aegis I think is far more relevant in that.
Yeah, it's not. I don't hate this. I don't love it. I think it's okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Who do we got next? Another creation card. It's the Queen Guard Elite. It's a 3-cost 3/2. It has charge, endurance, nomad 2. It got a lot going on for it. It's a warrior insect. I feel like it could be a bit of a star in limited. Other than that, I'm not too excited.
I feel like this is the best nomad card out there.
I mean, that's probably correct because of the endurance, right?
Yes. It is extremely good in like a project deck, or very fast project deck, because it's cheap, it's charge, it's got lots of skills with it.
That's true.
Stuff like a, yeah, I kind of like it. Creation Rod deck, this would be really great, like Charge Rod.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna see play.
Yeah, I think this one is not just limited, but we will see it probably in those low to the ground aggressive creation decks.
Yep.
In both Expedition and Throne.
Oh yeah. We got.
I'm actually surprised it's only uncommon with all that deck.
Creation. It's a 4-cost, a 5/3. It's the Honey Porter. Summons. You play a Fire Honey, a Restorative Honey, and a Sticky Honey. It's an insect. To find out what the honeys are, see our other reviews. Cheap Shameless plug on Fire, Justice, Time.
Expedition, this is already being played.
Oh yeah,
quite a lot.
I can see that.
And anything where you're using From the Rubble, which we'll talk about next, or things like Volk or Promenade, or
basically I call it throwaway relics, right? Relics you don't care about necessarily. Because you want them to, you want to use them for something else, like you said, for a Volk proc, or for we'll talk about From the Rubble, or you just want a relic that you don't really give two shits about, but you just need a relic.
And also, at least 2 of those relics are actually fucking useful.
Yes. So again, look at our reviews that discuss the individual honeys. But no, I think this will see play in multiple formats for sure, and it already is. Yeah, it already is. So.
I mean, it's a pretty big unit for 4 costs.
Oh yeah. All right, what do we got after the old Honey Porter? Yep, like you said, you kind of spoiled it a little bit.
I guess just really quick for value wise too. When you play Honey Porter, you're not just getting the 5/3 for 4. You're also getting 6 more power worth of relics.
Yeah, throwaway relics, basically. Yeah.
So value rise, you're getting, 10 cost worth of stuff for 4.
Oh yeah, there's a lot that's packed into that one card. Which, and actually, let me see here. Is that no, it's a rare. So I mean, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, our first legendary, I believe, of the multi-factions. It's a creation. It's a 5-cost. It's a spell. From the Rubble. Deal 2 damage. Gain 2 armor and draw 2 cards. You increase those numbers by 2 while you have 4 more relics in your void. Now, I guess, so if you have 8 relics, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't go up by another 2, right? It's only just 1 increase?
It's only yeah.
Okay. Which, whatever. But still, so that would bump it, so you would deal 4 damage, 4 armor, draw 4 cards. Again, not the worst for 5 for power. There's a lot going on with this card. It is going to be our first build around for November. So,
yeah.
That is a channel point reward redemption for random. So he's going with this. So I'm curious to see what we're going to do with it. I have some ideas floating around, so we'll see.
So when I first saw this card in the spoilers, I actually thought it was trash.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this?
I was like, that's so fucking expensive, and you don't get... No. But then,
They started spoiling
especially
with the
in
honeys and
Expedition,
stuff, right?
with Honey Porter and all that kind of stuff
Yep.
going on.
They give you the throwaway relics to go with it.
Right. And suddenly it becomes something very different. And when you have stuff like Roadblock and Volk that really tosses those things out, and Invitation, and the one that recruits up there, all these, there's one that draws and fire and sacrifices itself.
Yep,
So there's a
yep.
lot of these self-sacrifice relics going on right now. Rocket Blaster that does 3 damage if you exhaust it, pay 1 and sacrifice a relic. I mean, there's a lot of shit that synergizes actually quite well, and for 5 costs, draw 4, gain 4 armor, and deal 4 damage, that turns it into pretty decent.
Yes. Like so.
And you're in a faction combination in creation that doesn't have the best draw to begin with. And doesn't have the best removal to begin with.
You know what I'm thinking already for this?
Well, yeah, with Rift.
So here's my question: if we do a Rift with this, so it increases, does it increase all those 2s to 3s? Do we know?
I haven't tried it yet.
Or is it only the damage part that increases the 3?
I think only the damage would increase.
Because man, if it increased all the numbers on there by 1 each turn, it would be like godly ridiculous, right?
I think it's only the damage, and it doesn't increase these numbers by 2 part either.
Even if it just increases the damage, that's still, I think, really good.
And you can't hit face with it.
Exactly. And like I said, you get those relics in your thing, you're drawing 4 cards, plus you're throwing out a bunch of damage. So this is, I'm definitely, I mean, I already spoiled what I'm going to try with it. Rift.
I think it's very fun. In Expedition, it is probably one of the most common decks I'm seeing right now.
In Expedition.
Yeah. But it is a build around.
Which we're going to do.
Yeah. It is not something you're going to throw in every creation deck.
No.
Because hopefully your creation deck doesn't have that many relics going to the void.
Yeah. Usually that's a bad thing.
Unless you want it to, right? So yeah, I think it's very, very good for that one architect. And it's really fun with Volk. I'm sorry.
Well, that's especially if we get him with Rift, make him super roided up. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. What do we got next? Well, we got another creation card. It's the Queen's Guard Stands, a 5-cost spell. You play 3 1/1 Queen Guard warriors with charge and Nomad 2. Meh.
You know, I've gotten some reviews on the deck I posted on EWC. And one of the questions first asked was, why this card? Because it doesn't seem very good.
Yeah, that's the first look, you're like, huh? Okay.
But in a project deck, when you have project out, or you're doing any kind of grow wide, like I'm using Grumbo in mine.
That's probably really good.
+3/+3 to Grumbo, or coming out as a 2/2 with project with charge. It has finished several games for me, and it doesn't provide a lot of shit on the board. Now, is it worth the cost? I don't know if a 1/1 flying charge and then a 3/3 on your turn is actually worth 5 if you don't have other synergies to go with it. But it's not terrible.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I'm not running 4 copies of it. I'm running 2.
Yeah. So obviously this will see play in, I think, several formats.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? Another legendary. It's another creation card. It's a 5-cost. It's a 4/4. Uther, Queen in Exile. It is a hero. Civilian Insect, Nomad 2. It's summon. Give 2 of your units +1 and endurance.
To be noted, this is fire, time, justice.
Yeah, which you'll see a lot of their cards in this set did that, like very strange. Like it's 1 of something, 3 of something, 1 of something. That's I guess another theme you'll notice through these cards. I don't know how I feel about this card, honestly. I don't think I've seen it. I'm not sure of it.
I also don't know, not because I haven't seen it, but because I just haven't been able to really evaluate its power level yet. So you play it, and it can target itself. And then it becomes a 5/4 Nomad 2 with endurance, and gives something else +1 in endurance. The endurance is very useful, especially with stun effects and that kind of stuff.
And with Nomad.
And with Nomad, it's very good with Nomad. Like you don't have to target it either. You can target something else. I think it is good. I just haven't found where it fits yet.
I'm sure someone will do something ridiculous with this card. I'm just waiting to. I want to see what people do with this. I'm really interested to see. Because right now I don't necessarily have an opinion, good or bad, on it. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. So someone out there, wow me,
like the
wow me with
Nomad
this
strategy.
Yeah,
is really aggressive. And has to be really aggressive to be worthwhile. Except maybe in this case where it has endurance, or can have endurance at least. But I feel like the faction requirements, I don't know if it fits in that kind of aggressive deck.
For me, I'd say someone wow me with this. Like, I'm really curious to see.
I feel like it could have some potential. I just
I don't know it. I don't see it.
Haven't been able to get it to kick off.
Yeah, it's not coming to me immediately, but definitely someone's gonna break this shit. I think. All right, here we got next. Another creation card. It's a Caravan Draft Beast. It's a 6-cost 4/6. He has charge. His fate, you play a creation stockpile. You can only play 1 stockpile per game. The stockpile, it's a pay 2 and sack stockpile to draw a Justice, Primal, or Shadow Sigil from your deck. Seems kind of weird, but I guess if you're playing a 5-color deck, not the worst.
I have to disagree. So every one of these like push 3 faction combinations from this set has a draft beast.
Oh, okay. I did not know. I didn't even notice that, honestly.
They all make a stockpile. They have different like abilities like charge or whatnot and different stats. Okay. I think if you are playing any of those 3 faction combos, this is almost an auto include in your market.
Just for the fate.
Just for the fate. In the creation, I actually think the creation one here, the Caravan Draft Beast, is one of the better ones, if not the best.
Because of the charge?
Because it does have the charge, and it's, kind of got a fat ass here.
He's a thick one.
Yeah, so that 4/6 becomes relevant. The charge is relevant. It's a little overcosted for that. That's why you wouldn't put it in your main. But I have had many, many games where I was having power issues that the draft beast, especially in expedition or when you're using deliveries, you can, if you're stuck at 4 and need to get to 5 or whatever, you can use this and use that unit to get that 1 more power that you need. So I think it's actually really good for that and vastly underrated.
Do you feel it'll play in Throne or just limited?
It's in all of my creation Throne deck markets.
There you go. I've not seen it.
I
know I've seen it once, and I think they did what you're saying. They took it out of their market and got the fate, got the stockpile. So I was like, ooh.
And then it's a unit for later, or you can
swap it back out or whatever. Yeah. And like you said, it creates another quote unquote throwaway relic.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't. Okay.
So yeah.
That doesn't seem all that bad to me.
I definitely see these. Again, I would never main deck it.
Yeah.
Because if it did more than 1 stockpile, Like if you could have more than one a game,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would main deck it actually. But since it only does one, it is just a market card.
It's
But
kind of weird that it
again,
only. I wonder why they have that stipulation that it can only do one.
um,
I don't feel that that's like that's not like some ridiculous relic. I don't get it.
I don't either.
I mean, it has to be
Really,
some reason they did it, and it just escapes. Maybe someone else in the comments could tell us if you have a great idea on why they would limit that. Is there some
Yeah.
combination you know of that we're not thinking of that would blow the game apart if they could make multiple stockpiles?
maybe they don't want to give you too many throwaway relics like that, and maybe they
maybe.
don't want. It's the fate issue, right? So
Yeah.
let's say you have Roadblock in your hand, and somehow you manage to get a starting hand with Roadblock and like 3 of these, and they all play a stockpile, and suddenly you're playing Roadblock on turn 1. That could be a bit broken.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm digging here, man. I'm trying.
Yeah, I know. I have no idea. It's the best idea I've heard, so I don't know. So yeah, this seems like it could be better than what I initially thought. All right, cool. All right, so what's next? Page 2. Ooh, this looks like it's the last creation one. The last creation one. It's a legendary. As everyone knows, there is a triumph in all of the 3 faction groupings they created, or that they have. Mm-hmm. So this is the creations. Uther's Triumph. It's a void bound, which I believe they all are, if I'm not mistaken. All the triumphs
they're all
are void bound.
They're all 7 costs,
and they're all 2/2/2s.
And they're all, yeah.
So this one, your units get +2/+2. When one of your units hits the enemy player this turn, draw a card. So if you saw the stream with Zeot's Triumph, I believe, was it Rumbler or Arrow paired Zeot's Triumph with this and Worldpire, and crazy shit happened. Oh, and they also paired it with was it Inspiration? Is that the relic?
Or Invitation?
Invitation, yeah, Invitation. That was hilarious. You play Invitation, you sit and chill.
I've been playing Invitation with the Creation Throwaway Relic deck, right? The Rubble deck, and it's really fun to use Rocket Blaster or Volk to sacrifice the Invitation at the end of turn, because it sacrifices itself automatically anyway, but it stays the whole rest of the turn.
Oh, I see.
So you can play your cards, then use 1 power and Rocket Blaster to deal 3 damage, and sacrifice it a tiny bit early, and not actively lose one of your other relics. But anyway, this card. I have it again in my market for my Grow-Wide Creation deck as kind of a final push type thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like the draw cards is particularly relevant.
No, it's a nice extra thing, though.
Unless you're cheating it out. Yeah. Unless you're cheating it out with, like, Worldpire.
Which we did, and it was hilarious. But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you said, still a nice final push to the end kind of thing, because, like I said, the 2/2 is great. I think the draw the cards is like a cherry on top.
But I also feel like you could just play Exodus.
Yeah, you could do that. Cheaper. You could do that too. But I don't hate the card. We obviously played it a little bit. So it's
or
not
rapid development.
Yeah. There's other cards that do similar-ish stuff.
Or better things.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah. All right, what do we got next? It's a Geneva card, a first one of those. Phineas's Choice, 3 cost, fast spell. So again, 3 options on this bad boy. You get +4 power this turn, or your units get +1/+1, or you play a Permafrost on an attacking enemy unit. Interesting options, all 3. I feel the first option's playing Perma on an attacking unit's interesting, I gotta say.
If you have Ripped Out, you can get this down, and then it's not just a...
Yeah.
vanilla, just playing it, it is a +1 power, essentially.
If you get Rift out, wouldn't it make it
Because
zero
it
cost
costs
eventually? So it's basically a free 4 power.
right. Yes. So with Rift out, the top is good, but also if you have Rift out for 3 turns, do you need that?
Probably not. At that point, you're going to most likely drop down and use the other two options, right?
Mm-hmm. Your
So
unit's a permanent +1/+1
yes,
is good, especially in limited. The permafrost is okay,
yeah,
better in limited. I feel like
yeah. I feel this is more a limited
yes,
type card. So
yes,
not the worst. All right, what do we got
yeah.
next? The next Geneva card. It's a Krogar's Grave. It's a relic. +1 max power and summon. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. This is amazing, I feel, for a ramp card.
Yeah. It gives you a early removal of a lot of the early things you're going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
smacked with, and ramp.
Yeah. I think it's really good. Really, really good.
And since a lot of the Genève cards tend to be on the expensive side, the good ones, I feel like it's really good.
Oh, yeah. I think it's an all format type card.
Yeah.
All right, here we got next. Another Genève. It's a 3 cost 4/4. He's the Wildfire Keeper. He has, it's a Druid. He has Valor. Mediocre.
Good draft.
Yeah. That's about it. Limited guy.
Yes.
Up next, we got another Genève. It's a 4 cost. It's a 4/1. It's the Eye Spot Harrier. It's Valk Exile. She has Flying and Ambush. Summon, give a unit +4 this turn. Yeah.
+4 health, to be clear.
Yeah, +4, I'm sorry, +4 health this turn. I still say,
I mean, if you ambush it out to...
I guess it could trade with something? Or straight
to
up
make
kill it?
something that would be a trade, not a trade.
Yeah.
Let it eat it. It could be useful, but I don't...
Limited. It's a limited card, I feel.
Just don't know.
Limited.
But it's rare. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a poor rare. I think it's a limited.
I think this is another one, though, honestly, that has potential in something where you want flying.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like this will see limited format play, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, here we got next. Another Genève. It's a legendary. It's a spell. Light the Beacon. Your units get +1/+1 in endurance. Deal 4 damage to each unit. Interesting card.
I thought this was trash when I first saw it.
Yeah.
It's another one of those where I was like, so you just kill your own shit. Whatever. But then I had someone use it against me. And it wiped my side of the board. And did not wipe there, so it was a one-sided, and everything it had got that +1/+1, which becomes very relevant.
So that goes off first before the damage, correct?
Yes. So their shit survived, mine didn't, and they just straight up killed me.
Yeah, okay. So you're playing a bunch of 4 health units, you throw this out there, bam, now all your shit lives, your opponents are dead, and you just mash their face.
Right. It's not the greatest in every deck.
No. I mean, and they get endurance, right? So then they're good to go to block next turn.
I think the guy was playing a recruit deck.
Ooh, okay.
And he just smacked me to death with it.
Interesting. All right.
So I could see a lot of, especially you put it in the same deck as the next one we're going to look at, and it becomes kind of good.
All right, so there you go. Yeah, I'm curious to see what people do with this. Let's see what the next card is. Oh, okay, well. Another Genève. It's a legendary. It's the Giga Chad Caleb, Hero of Thera, 5 cost 4/4 hero. He has charge. His summon ability, each unit and weapon in your deck gets +2 attack. And when Caleb hits the enemy player...
Why you gotta make fun of Henry Cavill like that?
Huh?
Why you gotta make fun of Henry Cavill like that?
No. He's a Giga Chad. This guy's
Giga Chad.
This guy's a Chad. Come on now.
Yeah, he is.
When Caleb hits the enemy player, he recruits, and he's a Scion like Caleb is. He's a Scion and a hero. So,
right.
Yeah, I've
I went,
seen.
oh, he would actually synergize with all those really stupid cards.
Yeah.
Like, what is the one where if you have Caleb and all this other shit out, it
Yep.
gets
Yep. You get
reduced?
what the hell was that one? You can recruit dragons and paladins, and we built around that
Yeah.
card. It was interesting. Yeah.
His summon is very relevant.
Yes.
I think it is worth the 5 cost.
His body's
His
okay for
charge,
5.
his charge is also very
Mm-hmm.
relevant and gives you a very decent recruit. I have gotten him in many, many times with that charge to recruit the turn he's played.
And it's not a one-time recruit. We have to point that out. Every time he
Yeah,
hits you.
every time.
So
I think he is quite good.
yeah. Wasn't he one of the first ones
Um,
spoiled, I believe, of the set too?
yes.
So yeah. And he's
I
3
think
fire.
if you're playing. Yeah, go ahead.
I say 3 fire, 1 time, 1 primal. By the way.
I think if you're playing Genève, even if you're not recruit focused, this is a really good card to have in your market or in your
Yeah.
deck
Oh yeah.
because it gives you that +2 to everything, weapons and units.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 5 cost recruit, so any of your units 4 and below, this will let you play immediately. And they all have that +2 because that happens first, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah. So no, he's I think
Yeah,
he's
I
definitely a
like
good
this
one. I definitely think we'll see him in all formats. I know I've seen him in Throne already, so we'll definitely see this guy in all
Mhm.
formats.
Absolutely.
Next up, another Genève. I think it's one of the next to last Genèves. It's a 6 cost 6/4. It's the Grove, like you say, the Grove Draft Beast. So it's their Draft Beast. He has Overwhelm. It is a beast. As we spoke before, it plays the stockpile. So the other one was a charge 4/6. This one's a 6/4 Overwhelm. I think this one's pretty decent too.
Yeah, and it works with your all-time favorite card.
Rift.
You know what it is, right? No, not Rift. The one that you actually hate more than anything else.
Oh, don't say it. You'll say it.
No, you say it.
I'm not saying
I
it.
can't remember the name, so you say it.
I don't remember the name. I never remember. I block it out. I try to block it out.
But yeah, it hits that 6 power mark and has Overwhelm, so it deals that 6 damage.
Yeah. Someone in the comments.
Again, it's not anything other than a market card, but
Yeah.
I think it's a decent market card.
Yeah. So again, these will probably see play in most formats.
Yeah.
All right, who we got up next? I believe this is the last Genève. It's a 7 cost spell. It's I believe all the triumphs are usually the most expensive here. It seems like it's a 7 cost. It's Patrice's Triumph. 2/2/2. Requirements 2 fire, 2 time, 2 primo. It's a void bound, as all the other triumphs are. It's recruit, then recruit again. It's expensive as hell, but I definitely want to try to do something with this card if possible down the road. Like
I definitely have it in my recruit deck. I'm not really main decking it anymore, just because it was a little much.
Yeah.
But it's in the market still, and I can see main decking it. It's nice. Like those 2 recruits at anything 6 cost or below, which is pretty much all your units. And if you need to get some units out there quick, this will do it. The only bad thing is it bottoms everything else.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely
all recruits do.
Definitely I want to see what people come up with. I feel this probably will be on our radar at some point as well.
I would say for its archetype and for its colors, I would say this is very arguably the best Triumph card.
I won't disagree with you, but we haven't gotten to the one I love.
Yes, but it's 7 cost, play up to 12 cost in units.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing that it's not a good. I don't think any of the triumphs are bad. Let me put it that way. Let me first preface that by saying I don't think any of them are bad.
Yes. And I'm guessing your favorite is DX, right?
Surprisingly, I don't know.
Zeots or Murgos?
We'll have to see. But Zeots is definitely
Yeah,
up there
we'll
because
have
that
to
was the
see.
first card we did from the set. As soon as I saw that card, I was like, this. Zeots is insane, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So we're moving on. Let's move on here. What do we got next? We're up to the Menace cards. 2 cost Futility. It's a fast spell. So this is either negate an enemy spell with cost 3 or less, or kill an enemy unit with cost 3 or less. I mean, not the worst.
It's good early removal, and it's fast. And with the marks, you can reasonably hit
Oh yeah,
this
easy.
3-color pairing by turn 2.
Yeah, definitely limited for sure. Play with possible throne.
I've seen it in Throne. It's pissed me off quite a bit. It is really good in those really fast menace decks.
Yeah, not the worst. All right, who do we got next, or what?
Not as good as the next one though,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
weird because it's
So it's their three option card. So it's menace. It's a 2 cost, 1 eyes choice is their option here. Fast spell. His 3 options: kill an attachment on an enemy, or give one of your units killer and overwhelm, or draw a non-hero unit from your void. It gets +2 attack, +1 life. I feel like all 3 of those are really good.
by far the best of the choice cards.
Yeah, I mean, I've not
It's
seen the
cheaper.
others, so I can't comment on that. But
Listia's
this is really
choice,
strong.
And you've seen Listia's and Phineas's.
Yeah, I mean, out of those 2, for sure, this is better than those 2. I've not seen the other. I think 1 or 2 groupings left.
Yeah, and it's 1 cost cheaper. It is really good. It's relic removal when you need it. It is.
I could definitely put.
not
I
just
would
relic,
definitely
but
put this in a
attachments.
killer deck for sure, man. I think for sure.
Absolutely. I have seen it in the Menace. What the fuck is the Frenzy? The relic, the 3-cost relic that everyone hates.
Frenzy 3 cost.
The crown. The crown that gives all your heroes +1.
Oh, that's the
deal
I know
damage
what you're
3
talking about.
times.
You're talking about the Isn't that the? It's not a crown. Isn't that the what the hell is
If
that?
you guys have listened to any of our things, you will realize I can't remember the name of any cards. I know what they all do, but
Yeah, I can't
cannot
remember
name them
names
for
as
my-
well. I know the throne. Is that the throne room? No.
Throne, yeah, it's Throne. It's Throne Room.
Yeah, because the crown's the 2 cost relic that after 3 hits or something
Which goes in the
flips.
same goddamn deck.
Yeah, they play both in the same deck. Yes.
I had them put it on again. Can't remember the name. The 3/2 2-cost Stone Scar that has deadly on their turn.
Not remembering.
Yeah, it's a cheap little Stone Scar aggro card that has deadly on your turn and overwhelm already, and it just fucks me up. So yeah, I think this is really good.
Yeah.
And the third option too, giving that +2/+1,
Yeah.
fast for 2. It's just good.
Yeah. This will definitely see play. I believe in all formats for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. What do we got next? Another menace. It's a 3 cost 3/4 malevolent constrictor. It's an overwhelm. Devour 3. Deal 3 damage to enemy player and you gain 3 life. It's a serpent. I feel like this is a limited card, but it kind of also with the Devour, I could I mean it does. It's also a bolster enabler. Weirdly enough, right?
And it's a good frenzy card.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. It also sets off frenzy. It sets off bolster.
The frenzy deck I was talking about with the 2/1 that deals 3 damage on bolster.
Yes.
Use this.
Ooh.
And it is immediately 2 procs of frenzy and just 6 damage to your face.
And they're all low cost cards. So yeah, this is definitely going to see play in limited for sure, and probably could see some weird stuff thrown out there and thrown, right? Some quick aggro type stuff.
Like that. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, not a bad one. Not a bad one. All right, what do we got next? Oh, it's a legendary here with the Menace. It's a Star Reader's Tolls for 4 cost. At the end of your turn, you draw a card. If any cards entered or left the enemy void, and it's summon effect, give an enemy unit -1/-1. I'm not.
There's a lot of people that are saying this is really good.
I guess if you're playing any of those mills and devourers and all that shit, you're gonna be putting cards in their void, right? Or if they're playing Reanimator, right, they're gonna be leaving the void. So yeah, I guess.
But
yeah,
even with Devour, you're taking them out of the void.
Yeah, but you're still putting cards. If at the end of your turn, draw a card if any cards entered or left. So yeah, I guess Devour, does that count it as leaving the void?
I'm not entirely sure, but I would imagine so.
So you're going to be filling it up both ways, right? Entering and leaving, then technically, or if they're.
So I think it's pretty in that Menace Hunt deck.
Oh yeah,
where you're doing the Devour stuff.
Yeah,
you're gonna want this because it's gonna be consistent card draw.
Exactly. I kind of like this, and like I said, this is one of the ones I'm curious to see what people do with. Again, it may be on the radar down the road, but yeah, this I think there's something there, maybe. So yeah,
I think I'm gonna have to play it and try it out.
There you go. Menace card, the Insatiable Gorger. It's a 5 cost. He's a 3/3. He has Devour 3. Charge. When an enemy card is devoured, it gets +1/+1 this turn. So if his Devour goes off, you got a 6/6 charger coming in.
I think it's good and limited.
Oh yeah, I think limited for sure.
Really good.
Oh yeah, for sure limited.
I don't really think you're going to see it that much in
Throne. Yeah, I'm a little more hazy on Throne, but limited. Yeah, I think this is something that's going to happen.
Maybe Expedition.
Yeah. Let's see. Next one up for Menace. It's I guess the man of the set, right? Legendary, 5 cost. Severin the Hermit. He's a 5 cost 4/5. He is a hero, of course. He has Aegis. When an enemy unit dies, you play a copy of it with charge, and then you sacrifice it at the end of your turn. He's 1 fire, 3 primal, 1 shadow. He's one of those, again, those weird requirement pip-wise there. I think this is. I mean, I've not seen it yet in action.
I haven't tried it. Yeah. I think it would be fucking hilarious with Heavy Hail.
Wipe his board, play them all.
Yeah. Yes.
Wouldn't it? Well, how would Heavy Hail help you though? Because let me see. What is it? Play a copy of the charge, sacrifice it, and okay. So at the end of your turn, you would have all those units on your side. Then they would die. Oh yeah, that would be kind of funny.
Well, so they would die first, then they would immediately come on your side with charge. Then you attack in.
Oh yeah. That's true. Kill them all, and they appear on your side. Copies of them, and you'd hit them with his own units, and then then they all die. Or if you're playing a lot of like fast removals, right? Play a fast removal, kill something. Now you have it to block on your side, and then it's going to charge at the end, on your turn.
Right. And like a lot of these cards, I don't think it's necessary for him to survive the board wipe for that to happen.
Well, plus to figure he has Aegis, so you're gonna have to hit him twice with something to kill him. Because he's a little sticky, right? He's a little bit of a sticky unit with the Aegis.
You want to do it on your turn, right?
Yeah.
But even if they die on the opponent's turn, they're on your board ready to go.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely
at the end of your turn.
Feel again. This is another one that'll probably make an appearance at some point down the future. That we'll do. Very curious to see what kind of crazy stuff people do with it.
All the ruining, killing everything, and then they all pop up on your side.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what people do with this.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I feel he'll get played in most formats, right?
Yeah.
All right, who do we got next? The next to last Menace card, I believe. It's a 6 cost 5/2. It's their draft beast. It's a flyer. This one flies, and we've already discussed the draft beast. So this is the Menace one. It flies. It's a 5/2 that it flies, which not horrible for a flyer. Not great, not horrible.
Yeah,
I think the other two are better,
I
though.
think
I will
this
say I think the other two are slightly
yeah,
better so
as
far.
units, the other two are better. I still think it's a good market include
Oh
for
yeah.
any three factions because Sigil Screw happens, right?
Oh yeah. All right.
Um,
So who do we got next?
but yeah,
Yep. It's the Menace Triumph. It's the Hermit's Triumph. Again, it's 2/2/2 requirements. He's a void bound as always. You steal and ready 2 enemy units this turn, and at the end of the turn, you sack them, which is interesting compared to most of the shadow spells that steal a unit. It always returns it at the end of the turn, right? This one, it steals them, and then they fucking die. That's it. So you don't have to have a follow up and a way to sack it, or you're giving it back. So I do want to try this in one of my sack decks. I gotta say, I feel like maybe out of all the triumphs, this might be maybe the weakest. I'm not sure. Or the most niche. The most niche for sure, maybe.
Yeah, the steal them and attack can very, very much win a game.
Absolutely, and the fact that it then will kill them is kind of nice too for you, because then you don't have to have a follow up to kill them on your. You're not going to then give them back.
And I think this would make an excellent market card.
Yes, I was thinking, market. I don't know that you main this, but I feel like at some point, just spoiler. I think we should do at least do all the triumphs in a deck, just to see what we can come up with.
Yeah,
but I think
that would be
market. Unless you have to, if we're building around it, we don't have a choice. But I definitely could see this in a Menace market, right?
But a great market card.
Yeah. Like a big surprise, like, hey, you got some nice big chunky units. Okay, I'm going to take them, punch in the face with them, and then they die.
It's a little bit like the Subversion, where most decks are not going to play it in their main. Some do.
They're the greedy people.
Yeah.
Called out.
But I'm over 9 power, this game has gone on much later, and I need to fucking end this.
Mm-hmm.
This does it, right?
Yeah. Phone a friend. Call the hermit. Hey, can you take care of this? Yes, I can. There you go. All right, moving on. We're done with Menace. Next up is Carindon, and they're 3 2-cost fast spell 3 option deal. It's Fiera, which I've noticed each one has a different one of our heroes on it. There's this Fiera. So there are 3 options. Give units in your hand. Units in your hand get +1/+1, or give an enemy unit -3, and just a note, that's not a per turn like a temp. That's a permanent -3. Or deal 2 damage to enemy player and you gain 2 life. I mean, to me, that's a bolster. I gotta say, I feel like this is probably the shittiest one we've seen. Question mark?
Yeah. Option 1 is fucking horrible. Very few times have I seen this.
Yeah.
Give anything to the units in your hand cards actually do something. And most of the time, there's a fucking waste of space.
Yeah.
The -3 attack is potentially useful. I mean, that one's decent. The bolster trigger is okay.
But there's better ones out there, right?
There's better ones, and if it lets you target a unit or player or site or something, like just any enemy,
just deal 2 damage, period.
Probably be good, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure some people will play it in limited, but yeah, other than that, I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
Who do we got next? The Hall of Mayors, the Carindon. It's a relic, 2-cost. Units can't leave voids. And it's summoned. Each of your units can't die until your next turn. So, interesting. I can see.
Yeah, I have no idea where to place this.
I can see those people that play like control shit, like, because you can throw this out there, and then I can just throw a harsh roll, follow it up with a harsh roll. I killed all your shit. My shit's still chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Like if they're playing some kind of control shell, and then plus, it really gets the old middle finger to any reanimators, right? You can't leave voids. So now that would
be hilarious with Equalize. at turn 5.
Oh yeah, there
Or
you go.
one
Another
sided
one.
warlock.
Hey, I have units out. Okay, well I'll just equalize and you kill some of your stuff and my stuff I won't kill.
Yeah, the only problem with it is it's not fast.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like this will see some
I
limited
guess with
action,
Allied you can make it fast.
possibly thrown, but I
Yeah.
think for limited more likely.
We could use it with Alhead and make it fast. And then as a threat.
Ooh, that would be very interesting. That would be dirty.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
that's a lot of setup.
Yeah. 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 Mistral Spy. It's a 3-cost 3/3. She's a Valk rogue. She has flying, deadly, lifesteal. So she got a lot going on, but at the end of the day, I feel she's meh. Limited.
Well, I mean, it's Valkyrie.
Yeah, I feel it's
So
still
if
limited.
you're trying to get Valk Warp, um, what is the Argent Point one that's 2/3?
I don't feel like there's a lot of. Are there even any time Valk? I don't think there are.
No, but this does let you now kind of have one in these 3 factions.
I guess.
So you could do some Valk Warp shenanigans.
Still for me, she's kind of meh. Limited. She's limited. She's a limited gal for me.
I don't know. 3/3, deadly, flying, lifesteal. I think that's relevant enough to put in.
Not thrown, I don't
Like,
think.
I don't know if you're trying to do like a fast or a battle skill centered thing, maybe.
All right. Well, let's see who's up next.
But I don't think it's great.
No. Next up for Kerendon, we got a Reeves Mandate. It's a spell, 3 costs, silence and kill a unit or relic. This seems pretty good. Pretty good.
It is. I think it's not fast.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's only quote unquote negative to it. No, not fast, but still, I think it's just really good.
But I also really like the silence and kill.
Yes,
part of it.
I think that's very relevant. Very relevant.
Yes, I agree. So for that reason, I have been including it
over
some other
straight kill spells,
dual
right?
use. Because the only other really dual use ones you have are Banish and Send an Agent.
Yeah, and they don't silence,
Both
so in
have
theory they could
limitations.
reanimate whatever you just killed.
Right, and both of them have limits on
true.
faction or
Cost.
and this doesn't. So for that reason, I think it's very useful for these colors.
Oh yeah,
really.
I feel this. Yeah,
removal.
this is definitely a play in all formats card, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next up, Kerendon. It's a legendary. It's a 5-cost 4/4 hero. It's Zeot. Whatever it takes. She's one of those odd requirements. Again, it's 1 time 3 Justice of Shadow. She has Valor, and she's a bolster lady. Her bolster, kill an enemy unit. And if you watched the stream the other week, right? She was in our deck, I believe, one of our decks with Zeot's Triumph, and she can get really gross really fast.
Yes, she's fairly easy to kill.
Yeah, she is.
With her 4 damage and 4 health.
Though she sticks, look out.
So things like Shrivel and whatnot. If she sticks and if you can get bolster going, the problems I've had with it is not with this card's power level.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, when it's working how it's supposed to, it is fucking ridiculous. But it's getting that consistent bolster in these colors and getting it at appropriate times to make it good has been somewhat difficult for me. So it ends up being 50-50. Like all the what are these, Kerendon?
Yes, she's a Kerendon.
All the Kerendon bolsters I've made and really that I've seen have kind of the same issue where it either works perfectly and it's ridiculous, or it just doesn't fucking work at all and you end up with a lot of subpar units and no way to trigger their really good abilities.
Yeah. And they get picked off and you're just very sad.
Yes.
But if you can get her to go off, she's. I mean, like I said, we had her in a deck. I thought she did pretty good. take that for any way
I
it
agree.
will. She'll definitely, I believe she'll see play in most formats.
Yeah.
Where the hell did I leave off? Oh, there we go. So
Warren draft.
Yep, it's the Carrandons. They're draft beasts. He's a big chunker guy. He's a beast. He's a 5/5. He's the deadly one. So as we said, I like this one. Big body, and he's deadly. Not terrible.
Yeah. Agreed. I think he's better than whatever the fucking
the flyer guy was,
525 one.
So yeah, I like this one. I think he's up there with the other the first two we saw, the charge guy and the overwhelm guy. So yeah, I like what he's about. All right.
Agreed.
Next up, it's the Triumph for Carrandon. It's Zeot's Triumph. So if you saw the stream with that, you know. So it's again 7 cost, void bound, play 12 1/2 soldiers with Aegis, and it's of course 2 justice, 2 shadow. And it felt like in the stream, maybe I'm wrong. Like once we got to this point, we played this. Most people just quit. They were done. That was it.
I have played this and still lost games. I've had to play multiple of them before winning games.
Wow.
I think that's more of my bad decks than anything else. But this thing can be really gross.
Oh yeah, especially if you have I can't remember the card.
Invitation again.
Invitation with this, game over. You gain what?
Then you're gaining 24 health.
And you're playing a bunch of 3/4 soldiers with Aegis, mind you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did use it in a deck where I had Horn and the 2-cost relic that gives your units
Overwhelm.
Aegis. Or Overwhelm, yeah. And you play this, and then if we're low on health, you're not anymore.
And that's when your opponent top ranks.
Yeah, because that's suddenly you get 36 more health.
Yeah. Like I said, this is obviously one of my favorite triumphs. It was the first, when I saw this card, it was the first one we did from the new set. I was like, wow, that looks like if you can get to that point, that looks strong. And we proved, yes, it is.
It's just surviving in any in Carrandon to get to that
if you
point.
Can get to that, and usually those colors do have, I mean, obviously they have tools to do it, right? Justice and time and shadow, they have the tools.
Lots of ramp.
Yeah, ramp, board wipes, single target kill, like they got the stuff to get you there.
I would say that this is probably the easiest one to get off to actually play.
Because of the colors it's in.
Because of the colors and the ramp that you can get with that, you can get it off and it still be relevant. Yeah,
like I said, I feel it. I feel it's going to see some play for sure.
Yeah.
All right, who are we up to? We almost up to the level. I think we're at the last. I think we had the last one. Oh wait, there's one more. Oh, there's one more Carrandon card. And then we're last of the last group. All right, last Carrandon card. It's Cert, the Prime Deserter. He's an 8-cost hero. He's 0/0 though, but he has plus attack, plus life equal to your life, and he has endurance and overwhelm while you have any armor. So, life gain tag anyone?
This is probably my favorite card of the set.
Does not surprise me.
Not the best card. Not the best card. In fact, I've yet to make a deck with him in it that didn't suck ass. But I'm trying, and I'm determined to make it work. But yeah, I just think he'd be really fun. Every time I've managed to get him out, though, he's been immediately murdered.
Well, yeah.
And he's never gotten an attack.
But he's a soldier rebel, by the way. Just throwing that out there, too. Yeah.
But I think he would be incredibly fun if I could figure out how to get him.
I'm sure someone out there is going to... I'm definitely curious to see what someone does with this. I feel like someone's going to be able to do something with this, and I'm curious to see what it is. Like, I feel this could be really funny. Definitely meme to the extreme, right?
Right.
All right. So,
give him charge somehow or something.
Yeah. Next up, we got Purpose. I believe that's the last group. 2-cost, 2/2 Dragonfly Lancer. It's +1/+1 and flying while you have 10 life or less. It's renowned. You draw 2 cards and take 5 damage. This seems bad on the surface. Maybe I'm missing it, but
It seems bad on the surface and on the other surface and in the middle.
okay, then I didn't miss something.
Pretty much fucking everywhere.
All right, bad card. Move it on,
Yep.
and it's a rare, which kind of hurts you a little bit. Like,
Well, I mean, I guess if you're really trying to play some kind of tricksy self-damage deck.
I don't even know if that's a thing though. Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's that relic still floating around. If you take damage on, like when you take damage, your opponent takes damage. But,
Yeah, but that's a lot of damage to get this guy to fucking do anything. And 2 cards for 5 life. I don't know if that's a good trade.
No. This is a hard pass for me.
Yeah.
All right, who do we got next? Or what? The Skullhaven Militia. It's a spell. You play a 1/1 Ranger, a Rogue, and a Warrior with Renown, +2/+2. And here's they are. I believe we saw these in these other sets, so that's just this card will. They're basically, I guess, tokens, and I think we missed that when we did those other sets. Yeah, we did that when we did those factions individually. They're kind of meh, but for 3 costs, getting all 3 maybe if you could then immediately get the Renown, I don't think that's horrible, right?
It's not, because it is a permanent +3/+3. Again, the same Renown deck. The only one I've seen that actually worked, that kicked my ass, used this, and it was effective.
Yeah, it's a very quick go wide, real quick. You know what I mean? Real quick going wide. So I feel that we'll see some play for sure in all formats. I think.
And when dude played the card, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Exactly.
It was running me over.
Yeah. What the fuck just happened to me?
He also used it with the next card.
Oh. This card. So we got another purpose card here. We got the 3 costs. It's a 2/1 Wandering Trader. He has Aegis. His summon. Play a 2/1 versatile weapon. Doesn't seem awful. But you toss it on him, now you got a 4/2 Aegis guy running around.
Well, no, if you toss it on one of the Skullhaven militias,
it sets off their thing.
Then you have a 5/4.
No, that's true.
So again, in that very niche Renown Matters deck, this is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's crap.
Yeah. So again, he'll probably see some play if you're playing the other. I feel like you're going to play both of them together, right? You're going to play probably both.
Yeah. And in limited, this if you're playing these colors, this is good.
Oh yeah.
The free 2/1 versatile is just good if you're in limited.
Yep. So next up, it's a legendary purpose. Eris Apex Slayer. She's 4 cost, 3/4. She is a hero. She's an elf warrior. Her deal, endurance, overwhelm. Her renown, kill an enemy unit with cost equal to or less than that spell or weapon. Meh. I mean,
yeah, because okay, so in a renown deck, yes, with some of the other cards, like this is one of the few renowns I see maybe worth playing in a lot of these purpose decks, because there does tend to be a lot of like spells.
Usually the buffs are kind of cheap, aren't they?
Yeah, but most of the buffs are really cheap. So, and you don't want the really expensive buff.
Yeah, so I don't see her really doing much.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like
underwhelmed with the whole renown.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna pass on her, right? Like,
yeah, I would agree.
I'm not saying she's total garbage, but I'm just not feeling her.
I'm saying she's total garbage.
There you go. All right, who is that? We got a spell. Kellia's Choice. So this is, I guess, the purpose 3-option spell, but instead of being 2 cost like all the others, it's 4 cost. So her choices, Kellia's choices are: give one of your units +2/+2, or play a 5/5 Albatross with flying and stun it, or the enemy player sacrifices 2 relics of their choice. I mean, I feel those are pretty good. Not great, but good.
No. Okay, the second one sucks. It doesn't help you in the immediate.
No.
The third one, I don't know if it's playable if they only have 1 relic. I would imagine it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe people can tell us in the comments. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
you figure
because
if
it
someone's playing like the Cancer Relic decks, they're gonna have a lot of relics out, right? Most likely.
possibly.
So in
But if
theory,
you're playing this
yeah.
against like the fucking Honey Porter deck, they're like, "Thank you."
Well, yeah. You have to pick and choose when you. I feel like maybe like most of the other ones, maybe you market as bad boy.
And I feel like this card is costed specifically to work with Eris.
No, you know what? Yeah, maybe give the unit +2/+2, kill a
But
unit with
that's
four or
why it's
less.
one
Yeah,
more expensive,
yeah,
is just to give you that option.
yeah.
But
That's
I don't know.
probably it.
Like this one, I'm not meh. I'm not I'm I'm not excited about any of
Yeah.
the purpose ones really.
No, this one, man. I'm guessing you'll still see it in limited. That's about it. Next up, we got another Telia. Maybe there we go. Legendary. She's a 5 cost 3/6 hero. It's an elf ranger. If that matters. Telia, the Skullhaven Steward. When Telia attacks, you discard a unit, spell, or weapon from your hand to draw a random card of each of the other two types from your deck. I believe one of the decks we're playing this week has her in it, and it's pretty cool. She's pretty cool,
Yeah.
especially if you build your deck a certain way. You kind of know what you're grabbing, right?
Yeah, so I feel like in this case, this is one of the purpose ones I think is actually pretty interesting.
Yes.
3/6 deadly is relevant stats.
Yeah, because you can block her. Sure, block her. I'm still gonna swing with her.
Yeah.
Block her. You're probably gonna die. Even if I trade, I'll take it because I still get one
Right.
thing off on her.
I don't like that the discard is not you may. So I don't think you can skip it.
Yeah, that's true. So if you don't have anything you want to discard, you kind of just sit there with her, which then that
Or
gives
if you
your
don't-
opponent information.
Yes, exactly.
Either you have something you
and,
don't
like,
want to
if you have-
discard, or you don't have.
or you can.
Yeah, you just simply can't do it. So you either have a bunch of power sitting in your hand, or something that's really juicy that you just don't want to toss. So.
Right.
And just another point, her power requirements: 1 justice, 1 primal, 3 shadow for this lady. So.
Yeah. So that's the only downside.
Yeah.
I feel like if you could discard a power to pick 2 of the others to draw,
Yeah.
that would be really good. Like just discard anything to draw 2.
Or yeah, maybe like you
I
said,
see why they limited it like that.
if
But
it was,
it is an on attack,
yeah,
so it's not an immediate effect. She's got to survive. She's got to be able to attack.
yeah,
If she is stunned or permafrost or killed, it's 5 cost, nothing. But I guess that's true for any fucking unit. But
yeah. Like I still feel she'll see some play in most formats.
I do too.
Yeah.
And she's an elf, which is also relevant.
Yeah, that's true. If you're playing elves, you can maybe use her. So we're up we got the purpose draft beast this time. It's as all the others, I believe 6 cost. It's a 6/3 beast. This one has Aegis, which still isn't horrible. I mean, compared to some of the others, I still think some of the others are slightly better, but it's still it's a chunky guy with an Aegis, which is kind of nice. So, And as we've heard, draft beasts are decent market cards for most formats.
Right. And if you're in fucking draft or limited, I think this is always a pickup for fixing.
And I believe it's our last card, multi-color card. It's
Our last card.
It's the Murgo's Triumph, a purpose 2/2/2, of course, as all the others. It's a void bound. His deal: give a unit +2/+2 and Aegis, give a unit +2/+2 and killer, and give a unit +2/+2 and unblockable. I feel this could be the most dirty one, especially played on Macto, and then watch your opponent top right.
I also feel like this card alone, out of all the other cards, could maybe make the shitty renown cards worthwhile.
True. I mean, this
because you can pop 3 renowns for the ones that the cost of the spell matters. It is
Yeah.
7 costs, so that's relevant.
Give each one an ability and a buff. And as you
Yeah,
said, the whatever the renown happens to be.
right, exactly. Or you could put all of it on one unit, like you said.
Macto.
Yeah, Macto or fuck Aramont or anything.
So I like Macto just simply because now he has Aegis killer unblockable. You pop his Aegis, you kill him. Guess what? He just goes back in the deck and he comes back later.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Or any one of those, like, this unit can't die bullshit.
no, or yeah, I mean anything like keeps reanimating and bringing itself back. Like what's the freaking the one that the reanimator decks use with the, or maybe I'm thinking of wrong colors here. Isn't there one in those colors that keeps coming back? In these colors, maybe not. I'm thinking no. I'm thinking of the. I'm thinking it's.
There's
the time.
There's the frenzies come back, or the one where you play a relic and come back Severin.
Putting this on Severin would be pretty gross.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, putting this on any fucking unit is gonna be gross, right? Whether you spread it out on 3 units or just pile it all on one, it's gross.
One or not.
Yeah, it's just
like
gross.
A 7/7.
I definitely feel this is gonna see some play. I've seen it, I think once, and I top righted because I'm like, okay, cool. Bye. I had
I think this card alone makes that renowned deck maybe happen.
Yeah. I feel like this might be slightly more favorite than Zeot's Triumph for me, just because. But I think that's also because I want to see what this is about. I haven't played this one yet. Yeah. Again, maybe down the road this might be one. So
purpose.
Yeah, and I definitely feel
I don't play a lot of Shadow or Primal.
Yeah, I definitely feel this will see play in those formats again. So.
Yeah.
And I guess so. That's I believe that's the last card, right? We're done. We are done.
Yeah. So, quick question for you, just as a final wrap up.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this set and what it's pushing?
I do feel it's interesting that they're doing like a 3 faction thing, but at least they gave you cards to freaking support it with those.
Agreed.
The stockpile things, and then the the marks. I think that's really great, and I'd like the marks because, like I said, I think it opens up more deck building for people. Now I feel like 5 color, even 4. I always hated 4 color because it was just the power base was always tricky and just unwieldy. Like marks help a lot of that stuff, so you're gonna see I think a lot more of that stuff. Because it's going to be easier to build it and have a power base that doesn't just fist you. So I like what they did with the set. I like I said, the 3 faction thing. That's different. It's interesting. There's some really good cards. We came across a couple stinkers, but for the most part, most of the cards were okay.
Yeah.
I am happy with what I've seen so far in the set. I mean, hopefully hopefully you're happy. As always, let us know in the comments what you think of, the cards, our reviews, whatever. But what are your thoughts? What do you think of the set?
Well, I would say that I'm not a massive fan of the keywords, the new added mechanics.
Bolster's interesting.
Bolster is good, but I feel like it's more like Life Force, but kind of nerfed.
Yeah. I mean, Recruit's interesting too, but whatever.
Recruit's interesting, but it's a hit or miss. But I think if you build around Recruit, it's a little bit like Give Chase and stuff like that, or Crafty, where a whiff just costs you the game. You know what I mean?
Well, it depends on the recruit. Like if you're playing, I think there's a fire. I think it's 2 costs or 3 costs. I don't think that's like crippling. But if you play like one of those 4 costs or more, and you don't get anything off of it, like we came across what was a relic. I think it was a time relic. Pay 4 to recruit. Like if you're not building around that and you whiff on that, that's just awful, right?
I'm talking more about because. The nice thing about Recruit is it's harder to whiff because even if the unit costs more, you can still draw
That's true. So as long as I feel like you still want to build around
As
it if
long
you
as you're,
can.
yeah. So it's harder to whiff. You do want to build around it. You're right. But when you do that, 4 or 6 cost play to recruit, and you get no units,
Oh, yeah, that's crippling. That's really crippling.
that's bad because most of the recruit units are not great
No.
on their own.
And to be fair, I don't think they can be
I
per
don't think they
se.
should be.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. They'd be way too overpowered if they
Now,
were.
granted, the one that
Uh,
is really good, obviously, is
It's
Caleb, but
Caleb.
he's a legendary, right? He's a legendary sign. Like
Yeah,
he's Caleb, right? So it should
yeah.
be a good one.
Agree. Um, the Devour, I just don't know how to use it yet. Maybe it's because I've never been good with discard strategy decks. I'm not good with Reanimator.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
like
good with
them,
any of those.
and I feel that's cool. Like the animation's really cool. I got to give it to them. The
Yeah.
animation on it's kind of neat. Where shomp. I think that's cool.
The only thing I don't like about them is like having a bunch of bolster cards synergizes together well. Having a bunch of recruit cards synergizes well. Having a bunch of renown cards synergizes well, right?
Yeah,
Having a bunch of devour cards makes each one of those cards harder to actually meet that condition.
yeah. I mean, with Devour, I think you put it in like a mill or a hunt deck, and you pick. I think you pick the Devour. You're like what that deck
Yes.
is like. Whatever that deck is missing, you look for the
Mhm.
Devour card that fills that hole, and that's what you run. Like
Absolutely.
you're saying, you don't want to
And
run
it,
a whole entire deck of Devour. You maybe pick and
right.
choose one or two units or cards that get you to where you want to get.
But I feel like all the other keywords, you
Yeah,
do want to run a deck with that many
yeah.
keywords as you can.
But that's
And
just how
besides
that's just the
Nomad,
nature
which
of the.
I think is like, I just don't like Nomad.
Hmm. Yeah, no, out of
I
all of
just
them,
don't
Nomad
get it.
feels like Nomad
Yeah,
feels bad.
because I feel like you want to be able to block your opponent's flyers too.
Yeah,
And if you're both playing Nomad, then it's whoever gets more Nomads out than first, right?
or who gets the bigger ones or whatever. Like, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
Nomad feels like
It's an interesting concept. I do like the concept.
the concept is okay, but I'm not a fan of it overall now.
Yeah, it's not as cool as I originally thought when you're actually playing with it because I have still been just overrun in the air multiple times when I'm playing Nomad.
Yeah,
Because no, I can't block your your Rift dude, right? Your Wasp.
no,
I just can't because my shit's still on the ground.
yeah, and Rift and Wasp is still a thing. He didn't
Yeah,
go
so
away.
why would I not just play something
That actually has flying,
flying?
or
Yeah. I almost feel like Nomad to me, I guess in the style I play, because again, I don't really like a lot of really aggro decks very much, that it would be better if it was swapped. So flying on their turn and ground on yours.
Hmm.
But maybe that's just me.
So there you have it, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed all the different reviews. Hopefully you liked the fact that we did them in smaller chunks and broke it up for you, because I know it was easier on us recording it. That's for sure.
And essentially what Pins is saying now is shut the fuck up, Seragyn.
No, I am not. I am not.
It's okay. I get it.
No, I'm not saying that. But I am hungry, and I do want to order.
I can see, like, I can't see Pins right now, but I can tell he's saying, I'm not saying that, but nodding yes very heavily to the camera. Yeah, it's fun as always to do these with you and see how wrong we actually are.
Yeah. So as always, folks, feel free to hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you thought about any of the cards in this review or any of the other sets. Let us know maybe what your favorite card is. If you have one already, you're still trying to find out what it is. Let us know. As always, thank you, and thanks to Seragyn for doing all these with me. I appreciate it as always, sir.
Of course, anytime.
And hopefully we'll have another set reviews sometime. I'm assuming hopefully sometime in the new year. I don't feel that they'll probably have anything by the end of the year, but I've been wrong before.
We'll be in the same time zone then.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I feel well. Didn't they say that one of the next things would be a mini set with all of the redemptions that the people did with their the build a cards or whatever? So I think that's probably gonna be the next thing, right?
We'll see.
We'll see. I thought I read that somewhere that that's what they were saying, that would be like a mini set, and everyone that had a card in it would get it for free, which I thought was cool. And then I can't remember.
I feel like they made those cards too easy to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's still a lot of points. You still got to watch a long fucking time.
Yeah, but most people should not be designing cards because they can't fucking balance yet. So the devs have to do a lot of work.
Well, but at least you can go with them. I mean, I still feel that was a very cool thing that no other games really had.
Oh, it was.
You could sit I wish, but they kind of pissed it away. Like, I wish they still had it, because I think it's a cool thing where you sit with the dev. Well, not that the devs are really doing much right now. Like the game's kind of
Yeah.
But in its heyday,
But I think they had.
You could sit with, not sit with them, but you know what I mean. Like, you could work with them. Like, here's what I'm thinking. Here's a concept, and then go back and forth and see what they can come up with it.
But I think that process took way longer than they thought, and that it was way harder to find.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where to fit those cards in than they originally anticipated.
And that's ultimately probably why they got rid of it.
Yeah.
You can still divide a card back, but
Well,
that's a lot simpler. It's just art. Hey, here's a concept I have for art. Hit us with it.
That, and because Eternal's probably going into maintenance mode relatively soon.
Hopefully not, but we'll see. But yeah, until the next set, like I said, hopefully we have something early next year to bring you.
Yeah, hopefully.
Till the next time then, folks, have a good one. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.
Oh, that was fun.